Hello everyone, welcome to today's book club live discussion. So, I am going to be discussing, or should I say we are going to be discussing Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This was April's book club pick, and I am so excited to be discussing this. Now, I actually wrote down my own notes, but then I was looking at Goodreads reviews literally just, and someone wrote it in the most perfect words ever. Now, I normally write notes and I read out my notes, but I really want to read out this person's review because they literally said everything that I wrote down, but in so much better wording, because I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like I can't explain or express my feelings about that book in a proper way. Now, I will obviously add my own extra thoughts on afterwards. Now, I was trying to share my screen so I could give credit to this person, because obviously I don't want to take that credit, but it doesn't seem to want to let me to share. The only thing it's probably going to share is the live, which, I mean, we don't need to share the live. Yeah, see, it's just going to share the live. We don't want to do that. So I'm not sure how to share this. Normally it allows me to, unless I take a screenshot of it before. I'm not sure how to do it. But yeah, this person just explained everything so well, and I really, really want to share it. Okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to. Okay, I've got a plan. Sorry, I'm so unorganized. I'm just going to screenshot it, and then I can share. That? I don't know. It's my only idea. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just have to. I probably should have thought of this beforehand. Unless. Oh, now it wants to. Okay. Now it wants to share it. So here we are. I am going to put myself in the corner here. But this is what we have. This is what I wanted to show you. Because obviously I want to give credit. So I want to. So obviously here, Daniela, she's the one that wrote this review. None of this was me. I want to make sure I give credit. This review was just written so well and literally explained everything that I pretty much wanted to say. So make sure to follow Daniela or check out Daniela's Goodreads, because none of it was me. I just want to make that completely clear. But like I said, I wrote my own notes, which I will still say some of, but I was reading this review literally before going live. I was looking at some reviews, and it was just expensive. So I'm going to read it to you all. And yeah, this might take a little bit. So she also kind of separated into bullet points, which is really nice. So she put, "Before I Let Go is a beautiful story of second chances and discovering love that never truly fades away. It's wonderful that the book also addresses important topics like anxiety and depression, which affect so many people daily. The way Kennedy explores the impact of divorce on children, especially older ones, is so insightful." Now this was like, the way she put that was so yeah, it's just so good, because the way I put it, I can tell you, the way I put it was that the way Ryan wrote about anxiety and depression was done really well. So you could definitely see the difference here, because that just, so this is why I'm using, like, reading this as well. And then Daniela put, "This book is beyond amazing. It's filled with so much sadness, beautiful love, and more. It's truly indescribable. Really refreshing when a book starts with a character who's already happy with themselves and embraces who they are. Yasmin's journey with the inclusion of therapy in the story added an interesting dynamic. It's amazing to see how therapy can positively impact characters' growth and development. It's a powerful and meaningful aspect of the book that I enjoyed." Now, something I wrote something like this, obviously not as good at all, but something that I kind of added to my thoughts of this was, therapy has such a bad reputation. Like, when someone mentions therapy, someone's like, "No, that's not going to work, that's not going to help." And I understand people thinking that at the beginning, but I have never been to therapy myself because of that reason, being completely honest. But I have heard so many people say that they thought the exact same thing, and once they went to therapy, that it pretty much changed them. The therapist talked about things, or opened things that they weren't expecting or didn't realize was a problem, and helped them through that. So that is why I feel like the talk of therapy was so important in this, especially for like a divorced couple who are trying to get back together and create things again, start things up. And especially because I've got children and they're a family, I just feel like it was a little bit more important to open that door, if that makes sense. So yeah, definitely written so amazing. And then Daniela put, "It's tough when a relationship reaches a point when separation or divorce becomes necessary. It's understandable that wished Yasmin and Joshua could have found a way to work through their challenges without having to go through a divorce. Communication is so important in any relationship, and it's unfortunate when it breaks down to the point where a separation feels like the only option. It's a complex situation and everyone's journey is different." Again, this is so true. I feel like in this book, as much as some people be like, "Oh, but the divorce wasn't necessary. They just needed to talk," all that stuff. Yes, they needed to talk, but I feel like the divorce was necessary. It gave them time to walk away, separate for a bit. It also gave each other time to see each other with other people and realize how much they care about each other, how much they really don't want, that each other to be with other people. It kind of made them realize how much they love each other, how much they're important to each other as well. I just feel like it's very necessary to do all that. Um, I just feel like the divorce was a big part in this book for how they was able to talk, start therapy, and get back together. Then we have where oh yeah. Yasmin went through an incredible tough time. Sometimes letting go of someone we love can be incredibly challenging, but in some cases necessary for our own well-being. It's heartbreaking to hear that Yasmin felt so overwhelmed by grief and depression, but it's truly inspiring that she was able to overcome it. Overcoming such deep darkness takes immense strength and resilience. It's a testament to the human spirit and the power of healing. Yasmin's journey is a reminder that even in our darkest moments, there is hope for brighter days ahead. This hit strong. Okay, I just want to put that out there because yes, definitely this whole book focuses. Well, it's there. This whole book focuses big on Yasmin's grief and depression, and that's kind of why things ended up falling apart, which is again completely understandable. Hence, why the therapy was important, the talk was important, and even the divorce was important, in my opinion. So I just feel like the pretty much the mental health representation in this is like what was such a big important thing in this book, and I just I just love the fact that it was done so well, and you could definitely tell that Kennedy Ryan did so much research in her um like facts and made sure that everything was correct. You could tell it's very researched and like then well written. Okay, then um it's awesome that Yasmin told Joshua she never stopped loving, if I'm being real. I know I'm sure I wouldn't have the guts to do that, but she needs to learn to love herself too. I've heard so many people say that, and I didn't quite understand it until recently. It's all about realizing your own worth and taking care of yourself before fully giving your love to someone else. It's like building a strong foundation within yourself. I'm glad Yasmin's journey in the book helped me understand the meaning behind these words. So, yeah, definitely. When it comes to like all of that, I would definitely say it's important because let's be real, you can't love someone else and put the effort into loving someone else unless you love yourself. And I feel like that was a big part of this book at the beginning. She was finding things very hard. She didn't really like focus on herself. She didn't love herself in a sense, and I could definitely say it was very important and a very important thing to discuss. I'm just going to take a little break to say hi to Laura. Hello, I haven't read this yet, so we'll have you on mute, but wanted to support, so we'll leave you up for what Shauna would like. No worries, thank you so much for leaving me up. I really, really appreciate it. But thank you for the support, Laura. I know you can't hear me, but hopefully one day you'll watch us back. Okay, and then we have uh where did I leave? Oh, Joshua has it completely won me over. He was such a great father and showed love, sweetness, and support. Taking accountability is quality in a partner. It's tough when one person in a relationship is emotionally resistant and doesn't fully express their emotions. That can leave the other person feeling unsupported and alone, just like Yasmin experienced. It's great that he eventually realized the value of therapy and how it can help him and his family. The scene where he finally let his tears go with his therapist was powerful and beautiful to witness. It's moments like those that show growth and vulnerability, and Joshua, being a provider, felt the need to compartmentalize his own pain and losses for the sake of his family. It's complicated, isn't it? It's interesting to think about whether things can have been different if he had addressed his own struggles earlier. So, as like a father and a husband, most of the time, they feel like they're the provider of the family, and then being the provider, you feel like you have to be the strongest, and that you can't show emotion because you are kind of like the foundation to the family. So Joshua deciding to go to therapy and finally open up about his feelings and have that vulnerable moment was definitely important in the growth of the family. And yeah, I would say in himself and the family in general, because at the beginning, obviously, because he felt like provided the foundation to the family, he couldn't really talk about his emotions or show his emotions. He felt like he had to be like the strong one. But in reality, that's not the case at all, because at the end of the day, he has emotions as well, and he, you know, should talk about them. And that's why I feel like therapy was such an important factor within the story and within the like like stories. Then we have society has indeed ingrained this idea that men must be strong and suppress their emotions, but this expectation can be harmful. It creates a situation where men suffer silently, which can have serious consequences for their mental well-being. It's important for everyone, regardless of gender, to feel comfortable expressing their emotions and seeking support when needed. Now, this is kind of what I was saying, but in so many better words. That didn't make sense, but we'll continue. Um, yes, society nowadays make it so that men feel like they have to suppress their emotions, which obviously wouldn't be good for them because you shouldn't suppress your emotions at the end of the day. And I think that should change hugely in society. So I feel like this book does an amazing job of that. That at the end of the day, men do have emotions, and they should be shown. At the end of the day, that's kind of like one thing. And I feel like this book did it so well. And then we have it's heartwarming to see Deja and Heather be caught in the end, and Yasmin taking accountability to having an open conversation with her daughter is truly admirable. And let's not forget about that seeing the son who seems like an absolute dream. Yes, I also feel like because they had the conversation with the daughter, and the daughter was able to open up about her feelings. Yeah, she didn't do it in the right way before, but you could definitely tell that the daughter didn't know how to talk about her feelings and open up in a sense. You could definitely tell that there was like that barrier, especially between her and her mother. You could see some resentment in a way, but that's just because she didn't really understand how to talk about it. She didn't feel like she could talk about it, and it felt like there was a barrier. And once they talked about everything that was happening, like the mother, the father, even the daughter, and the son, they all had a conversation about everything, and they talked, they spoke. That barrier was down. And I felt like that just helped so much because obviously with the daughter feeling like she doesn't know really how to express her emotions correctly, and even the son really, them having that conversation was very, very important for the future and for their growth, for all of them. And then we have um, the friend group in the book was awesome, and I loved getting glimpses into their lives. I can't wait for the next book and series to dive deeper into Soledad and Hendrik's story and witness their journey towards finding their own happily ever after. Yes, so there is going to be a second book called This Could Be Us or something like that. I can't wait to read that just for the pure fact of how amazing this book was, and I would definitely recommend it to everyone. Now, I just want to put in my own little thoughts. Well, I've already technically done that in between, but actually, I want to read some of the quotes that Daniela has left here. So actually I won't read them, but here are some of the quotes, and yeah, there were so many amazing quotes within this book. It was just so inspirational, very important. You could just you this writing was just amazing. Now, for my own thoughts about the book, let me make myself there you go. For my own thoughts about the book is I rated it 4 stars. I can't really tell you what was like keeping me away from it, but I actually would definitely say it was hard to okay. It's hard to feel like I don't know how to put it into like correct words, but it there's a past and present timeline, and I feel like in the past when it was showing them in love and falling in love and being really in love, it was hard to really see that love, if that makes sense, because there was just more focused on one thing, and I felt like it wasn't really like built up correctly, if that makes sense. I don't know. I would definitely say the present timeline, seeing the growth and everything was done really well and so much better. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm just going to get something up because I was so I'm just reading my notes quickly because I feel like I'm not talking properly and I can't really. Okay. Yeah, so basically kind of what I'm discussing is I feel like the past, this is what I was trying to say, the past was focusing more on physical attraction than like actual love, and then I feel like if it was focusing more on love, then in the present time it would be a little bit easier to like read and stuff, but because the past was done a little bit differently, if that makes sense. I don't know if it does. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because I feel like I'm just talking nonsense now. But that was the little life discussion. I am so glad I read this book. I don't know what this month's book club book is because I haven't sorted it out yet, but I will. I will sort it out. Actually, I'm going to do a poll now, so you can vote on the poll pretty much a little while after this because I'm not going to do it now. But thank you to everyone who did join. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to see you somewhere.